Hello everybody, my name is Scott Kable and I have the honour of being the Head of Chemistry at UNSW. I want to welcome you to this online version of our 2020 Prizes Night. Before I start, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which UNSW was sited, who are the Bedical people of the Eora Nation, and they are also the traditional owners of the land on which I stand now in my own home. I'd like to pay my respect to elders past and present, and to extend that respect to any other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders who are watching this presentation this evening. It's now my very great pleasure to introduce to you our guest speaker for this evening, Associate Professor Alison Beavis. Alison is the Deputy Dean Education in the Faculty of Science. She's an award-winning educator and teacher, and more importantly for us, she's a card-carrying chemist, which means we believe that she's one of our own. Alison's role this evening is to welcome you and give you some context around the ceremony, and without any further ado, I introduce to you Professor Beavis.
My name's Alison Beavis and I'm the Deputy Dean Education for the Faculty of Science at UNSW Sydney, and I'd like to extend a really warm welcome to you to the School of Chemistry prize giving event for this year. I joined UNSW Sydney only late last year, and what an extraordinary year 2020 has proven to be. As well as being the Deputy Dean Education, I'm also a very proud member of the School of Chemistry led by Professor Scott Kable. My background is in analytical chemistry, and my research involves the analysis of traces of forensic significance, things like drugs, explosives, gunshot residues, and of course that involves some wonderful partners, the policing agencies here in Australia and abroad, so Australian Federal Police, New South Wales Police and the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime are some of the key partners in this research. Now, since joining this incredible university, I can say that there is only one regret, and that one regret is missing the opportunity to celebrate the achievements of our students in person. I say it wholeheartedly that events like prize-giving ceremonies and graduations are absolutely the highlight of my year. And I'm sure I speak on behalf of many staff here in the school and the university in that seeing our students excel is truly inspiring. For me, it was the reason that I've chosen the career path that I have. And it's just an incredible honour and privilege to be a part of a school that is home to such incredibly talented students and staff. And while I do have that moment, I really would like to acknowledge the efforts of all staff in the School of Chemistry in leading the way in the faculty's transition and a very rapid transition to online learning in response to COVID. It's been quite a showcase of collegiality, collaboration, and I'm again so proud and humbled to be a part of this school. And I'm sure that you know what it means to be a part of that community as well. So while we can't be there to celebrate in person as the country takes these quite important steps to reduce the impact of the pandemic, we celebrate with you from afar. And for those that are going to be returning to campus and studying, we cannot wait to welcome you back into the UNSW community. So again, I extend the warmest congratulations to you as prize winners. I'm sure that yourself, your family, your friends are all incredibly proud, as we all are. So have a wonderful day, and again, congratulations.
Before we get to the important part of the proceedings for this evening, I want to put a little context, I think, around the prizes. And part of the context this evening is going to be built around this wonderful new book that has just been produced, published by Peter Southwell-Keeley, who was a previous staff member at the School of Chemistry, and it celebrates 70 years of the School of Chemistry at UNSW, and indeed celebrates about 120 years of the teaching of chemistry by UNSW and its preceding organisations. I came to UNSW about 7 years ago. One of the first events I went to was the centenary of the Chemical Society, and that confused me a little bit. UNSW was founded in 1949, and yet this centenary was being celebrated from about 40 or 50 years earlier. What you'll also notice as we go through the proceedings this evening is that we have a great number of generous donations and bequests that we've named several of the prizes after. And although I will reiterate on the way through, I want to say now that some of these prizes and bequests were donated more than 100 years ago. Chemistry teaching at UNSW has an unbroken chain of history that goes back into the 1870s. The Sydney Mechanics School of Arts started teaching chemistry in 1871. The Sydney Mechanics School of Arts became Sydney Technical College, which then became the New South Wales University of Technology, and finally UNSW in 1949. And teachers who taught at the Mechanics School taught then in the Sydney Technical College through to the University of Technology, and then their positions were carried forward into the University of New South Wales. And so there's a continuous chain of chemistry teaching through all of these institutions since 1871. And that's the reason that some of the prizes that some of our recipients will receive tonight have heritage back to 1913, I think, is the earliest one. I'll make known what the prizes are for on the way through. What I want to do is to reflect a little bit about the history of chemistry and the history of the university through some of the photos that I'll put up here on my right-hand side. The history of chemistry at UNSW and its predecessors is indeed very rich. There are national awards named after members of staff in these colleges, including the H.G. Smith Medal, which is the most prestigious medal of the Royal Australian Chemical Institute, and the Rennie Memorial Medal, which is the medal recognising outstanding performance by an early career researcher. Even since UNSW started, the School of Chemistry has featured really strongly in the development of the university. The Dalton building, in which we house our offices currently, was the second building ever on campus. There are some wonderful photos, including this one here, showing you the Dalton building with really vacant lot of land behind it. Originally it housed the university library and has been part of chemistry since the building was completed. The school is also very proud that the first ever female graduate with a bachelor's degree and also the first female graduate with a PhD degree were also members of the School of Chemistry. Before I start going through the list of the prize winners, I will, on the way through, acknowledge and give you a very short biography of the people who generously donated the prizes or after whom the prizes were named. But you will notice as we go through that there are a significant number of Howard prizes. And that's because Theo Howard was a very generous benefactor to UNSW. Theo obtained his BSc from Sydney University and graduated from Sydney Teachers College in Chemistry and Organic Chemistry, Pure and Applied. He taught chemistry for many years, 1925 to 1962, and upon retirement in 1966 carried out further research in saponins and steroid chemistry as an honorary research associate at Macquarie University and the University of New South Wales from 1978 to 85. Theo left very generous bequests to both UNSW and the University of Sydney. University of Sydney and UNSW share a Howard lecturer every year where we bring in somebody from overseas to present a lecture at both institutions. The School of Chemistry hosts 2 Howard Fellows to spend a month in the school and to teach a short course. The school established the Howard Nobel Laureate Lecture Series and has had 4 Nobel laureates come out and to present a series of seminars, including a public seminar at the university. And the Howard Bequest also funds several of the prizes tonight. So I do want to acknowledge the very generous bequest from Theo Howard, and I'll acknowledge the other bequests on the way through. The order of the prizes that we will be celebrating tonight start with our 4th year or honours year chemistry students through 3rd year, 2nd year, 1st year. Finally, we have the recognition of outstanding PhD candidates, and in the middle we take a little segue into acknowledging an outstanding Year 10 high school student. Most years have a medal awarded to the student who performs best in that year overall, followed by a meritorious award to the student who is runner-up in the overall performance. And then we recognise the student who performs best in each of the chemistry courses that are offered during the year. Sometimes, of course, a single student will win more than one prize. If that's the case, then I'll vary the order and we'll acknowledge all of the prizes that student won together before moving on to the other prizes. So here we go. We'll start with Honours Prize winners. Honours is a special year where students spend the majority of their time doing research in the school. I think it's a really formative year where students move from learning knowledge that is already in existence to forging new knowledge in the research laboratory. There are 3 prizes for honours students. The first prize is the Angel Prize for Best Performance in Honours Chemistry. Professor Stephen Angel was the Foundation Professor of Organic Chemistry in 1959 and an internationally recognised sugar chemist. He held the posts of Head of School and Dean of Science at this university and contributed greatly to the School of Chemistry until his passing in 2012. The medal and award were generously donated by Professor Angel's daughter, Associate Professor Annette Gero. And the award of the Angel Prize for Best Performance in Honours Chemistry goes to Laurie Jacob. The second Honours Prize is the Kable Prize for Best Performers in Honours Medicinal Chemistry. The Kable Prize was established through a generous donation to UNSW by Emeritus Professor Ken Kable. A graduate of the Universities of Sydney and Liverpool, Professor Kable was appointed at UNSW. At the time, the university was the New South Wales University of Technology in 1951 and climbed through the ranks to be the first person to be appointed to a personal chair at UNSW in 1969. Throughout his career, Professor Kable's research interests lay at the interface of chemistry and biology, particularly focusing on the chemistry of insect venoms and compounds with attractant and repellent properties. This prize for the top student in the school's Honours Medicinal Chemistry follows the broad tenor of Professor Kable's research, recognising that the interaction of chemistry and biology is fundamental to medicinal chemistry. The award of the Kable Prize for Best Performance in Honours Medicinal Chemistry is shared between Austin Lai and Ying Yu. And the final Honours Award recognises the best performance in the Nanoscience Honours program in the school. And the best performance in Honours Nanoscience goes to Kevin Mariandri. Now we'll turn to the third year prize winners. As I said previously, where a student has won more than one prize, I will acknowledge all of those prizes together. And I'll acknowledge firstly that Jack Bennett has won 4 of the third year prizes. Jack was the co-recipient of the School of Chemistry Prize and School Medal for Best Performance in Level 3 Chemistry, which he shared with Jasmine Borsovsky. Jack also won the Inglis, Hudson and Jeffrey bequests for Best Performance in Level 3 Organic Chemistry. This award was established in 1936 from a perpetual trust from the estate of the late George Inglis Hudson, when the school was still called the Sydney Technical College in Ultimo. Jack also won the Medicinal Chemistry Prize for Best Performance in Level 3 Medicinal Chemistry and the RACI Analytical Chemistry Group Prize for Best Performance in Level 3 Analytical Chemistry. Jasmine Borsovsky has also won more than one prize. Jasmine, as I explained, is the co-recipient of the School of Chemistry Prize and School Medal for the Best Performance in Third Year Chemistry. And Jasmine also won the Bosworth Prize and Medal for Best Performance in Level 3 Physical Chemistry. This award was established in 1991 in honour of RCL Bosworth, who was a foundation member of the School of Chemistry at UNSW. He was appointed Associate Professor of Physical Chemistry and Head of Department in 1958, and he unfortunately passed away in 1964 while still a member of staff at the university. The UNSW Chemical Society Dwyer Prize for Best Performance in Level 3 Organic Chemistry was established in 2001 in honour of Frank Dwyer, a distinguished inorganic chemist who was associated with the Sydney Technical College, the forerunner of UNSW, as I've explained, as a head teacher. Dwyer collaborated with another highly respected chemist at UNSW, Nyholm, and together they made many important contributions to metal coordination chemistry. Subsequently, Dwyer moved to Sydney University, establishing a fruitful collaboration on multidentate chelating agents, and then moved to Canberra with a personal chair in the John Curtin School of Research, where he elaborated his pioneering studies on bioinorganic chemistry. And the recipient of the Dwyer Prize this year is Alan Shenfield. We now move on to second year prize winners. The School of Chemistry Prize and School Medal for Best Performance in Level 2 Chemistry is awarded to Jasnil Mann, and Jasnil has also won 3 other prizes. The Howard Prize in Level 2 Organic Chemistry, the Howard Prize for Level 2 Inorganic Chemistry, and the Alan Norman Buckley Prize for Analytical Chemistry. Alan Buckley received a first-class honours degree at the University of Sydney and completed his PhD at Monash in solid-state physics in 1971. He carried out research using X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy while working as a senior teaching fellow in chemistry at Monash. On joining CSIRO in 1975, he continued researching applied surface science utilising XPS, investigating synthetic polymers used in the wool industry before switching to energy and minerals research. There he began a long-standing collaboration with electrochemist Ron Woods, then at CSIRO in Melbourne. By 1998, Alan had moved from CSIRO to UNSW, where he continued his work on sulfide mineral characterization by means of XPS. With a small group of colleagues, Alan was instrumental in the establishment of a soft X-ray spectroscopy facility at the Australian synchrotron. Alan was an energetic, discipline-focused and meticulous researcher. He had exacting standards and expected the same from others. Alan enjoyed home life, academic debate, classical music, wine and travel, and the annual prize is made possible by his partner, Margaret Delkin. The Howard Level 2 Physical Chemistry Prize is awarded to Lucia Chen. We now move on to the UNSW Chemical Society George Wright Prize for meritorious performance in Level 2 chemistry courses. This award was established by George Wright in 1956 with what sounds like today a small amount of money, £5.5 for general chemistry and £3.3 for analytical chemistry. I assure the recipient that they will not be receiving a fraction of £5 or £3. George Wright donated the money to Sydney University on the condition that Sydney University pass on some of the money to the Sydney Technical College. And the winner of the George Wright Prize is Layla Al-Ibrahim. We'll now take a little tangent from the university prizes. And every year we recognise a high school student from Sydney Girls High. This is a recently established prize resulting from the close collaboration that has built up between the School of Chemistry and Sydney Girls High over the last few years. The students visit us regularly, and we also as individual academics visit Sydney Girls High for the occasional lecture. The prize is awarded for excellence and enthusiasm in chemistry for Year 10 students, and this year's prize is awarded to Shani Yehuda. We now move to first year prize winners. The June Griffith Memorial Prize and School Medal for Best Performance in Chemistry in Level 1 is named after June Griffith, who was the first female to graduate from UNSW in 1955, completing her undergraduate and master's in chemistry. June did her PhD with A.E. Alexander and moved with him to Sydney University in 1958. She worked in wool science at CSIRO and then joined UNSW in 1966 and became first-year director soon afterwards and remained until 1978 when she died after a long battle with cancer. June was a legendary and inspirational teacher and mentor to her students. The award was established in 1984. The recipient of the medal this year is Shiyuan Zhang. And Shiyuan has also won two other prizes, the Howard Prize in Medicinal Chemistry 1A and the Howard Prize in Medicinal Chemistry 1B. The UNSW Chemical Society Prize for Meritorious Performance in Level 1 Chemistry is awarded to Megan Davis. And now we have four more Howard Prizes for the mainstream chemistry courses in first year. The Howard Prize for Chemistry 1A to Iris Huang. Howard Prize for Chemistry 1B to Jack Nethery. And the Howard Prize for Higher Chemistry 1A and 1B are both awarded to Sophie Booth. We now move to postgraduate prizes, scholarships and fellowships. And the first one is the Don Craig Memorial Prize for Excellence in Research using X-ray crystallography. This prize is donated generously by the family of Mr. Don Craig. In honor of Don, the prize is for an outstanding PhD with an interest in crystallography. Don Craig will always be linked with crystallography at UNSW. As a geology graduate of this university, he realised the importance of X-rays in the determination of structures of minerals, which later moved on to a love of chemical structure determination. His tireless work, enthusiasm, and encyclopedic crystallographic knowledge have benefited many UNSW postgraduate students over his 51 years of service to the university, resulting in over 400 peer-review articles. His family would say that Don's great inspiration was finding a job that he loved, then doing it with a passion for his whole career. There's a certain genius in finding a way to be happy and fulfilled for all of your life, and they wish that joy to everyone here tonight. The recipient of the prize this year is Xiangsheng Chen. Xiangshen's supervisor is Richard Tilley, jointly supervised by Justin Gooding, and the research topic is Effective Bimetallic Nano-Electrocatalyst, Synthesis and Applications. In 2008, the school established 2 special PhD scholarships for excellence. These scholarships recognise the hard work and outstanding talent of our best students starting their PhDs and are named in honour of 2 of our most eminent chemists. These scholarships are supplementary scholarships for the 3 years of the student's candidature. The first is the Padden Rowe Supplementary Scholarship for the highest ranked commencing local PhD student. Professor Padden Rowe was appointed as Professor of Chemistry in 1991. He was one of the Foundation Scientia professors at UNSW, a special honour in recognition of his contributions to research in organic chemistry. He was elected Fellow of the Australian Academy of Sciences in 1999 and awarded the RACI David Craig Medal, the H.G. Smith Medal and the Birch Medal. He has made seminal contributions to the investigations of long-range electron transfer in molecular systems, and the recipient this year is Henry Foster, who was jointly supervised by Martina Stenzel, Pally Thordarson and Patrick Spicer. And the research topic is non-spherical polymer nanoparticles and their behaviour in drug delivery. The second PhD scholarship is the Black Scholarship for the highest ranked commencing international PhD student. Professor David Black was appointed to the Chair of Organic Chemistry at UNSW in 1983. His research has led to the synthesis of new types of organic molecules and the discovery of new synthetic methodologies, especially in heterocyclic chemistry. In recognition of his significant contributions, he's been awarded the Rennie Medal, the H.G. Smith Medal, and the A.J. Birch Medal, and the Leighton Medal of the RACI. Professor Black has made a significant contribution to IUPAC, the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, in particular as Secretary General from 2004 to 2011. He was also Secretary General of ICSU, that's the International Council for Science, now transformed into the International Science Council from 2011 to 2018. He was elected a Fellow of the Australian Academy of Science in 2011, and in 2012 he was made an Officer of the Order of Australia. And the recipient of the Black Scholarship is Laura Wimberger. Laura is supervised by John Beeves and by Vin Nguyen, and her research topic is organic synthesis of photoswitches and light-driven molecular machines, characterization thereof and exploration of their possible applications. Ladies and gentlemen and prize recipients, that concludes the prize ceremony for this evening, and I hope that I hear lots of applause, like I have my applause right now. And I hope you'll all charge your glasses with your beverage of choice, a nice glass of champagne if we're in the evening, or a nice cup of tea or coffee if we're listening to this in the morning, and we celebrate the special prize recipient that you're watching this for, and indeed all of the prize recipients for this evening. I do want to acknowledge all of my colleagues in the School of Chemistry that have provided this outstanding teaching and research supervision. I want to acknowledge all of the technical staff and the administrative staff without whom the school just wouldn't function. And in particular, I want to thank all of the students who have made their way through the School of Chemistry in 2019. Thank you, everybody, and good night.